These games are ranked by play score, a standard rating that averages gamer and critic reviews. Opening our list of the top 10 3DS games of 2017 so far is Cooking Mama's Sweet Shop. While there's hundreds of other games that make you feel the rush of cooking and restaurant management, none could ever take you as deep into the addicting depths of cooking life as legendary Cooking Mama, taking you step by step through even the most complicated recipes in bite-sized minigame fashion. Localized for the Western release, Sweet Shop doesn't carry the adorable mama voice that we used to love, but the fun of the original game remains, and that's all that matters. Set aside your savory dishes for a moment and indulge in the teeth-melting sweetness of Mama's delicious desserts. With 60 different recipes, you'll have to use your stylus and your microphone to slice, steer, knead, and bake morsels of pure goodness as she smiles over you like the angel she is. With activities spread over the game's 160 minigames, there's always something to do. Try your hand at every activity, earn yourself some medals, and serve up your creations to your loyal patrons, wandering around your sweet shop, looking for a tiny cupcake to brighten their days. With new customizations, decorations, and everything nice, Cooking Mama retains the cutesy charm it used to have. While its popularity has waned over the years, it's always comforting to know that even when you're doing bad, it's okay, because Mama will help you. It has a play score of 7.4. Number 9 is RPG Maker Fes. Ever wanted to make your own game? Watch your stories, characters, and maps come alive? Well, the RPG Maker has allowed thousands of other users make their dreams come true since the 90s. It gave birth to classics like To the Moon, Pokemon Zeta Omicron, and so much more. Released in Japan, the legendary RPG creator got a portable facelift when it was released on the 3DS. And while we were green with envy for what seemed an eternity, NIS America brought us the sweet release of a Western localization just last June. A simplified toolkit for wannabe game directors, it gives you the thrill of development without the hassle of codes, numbers, and all that programming mumbo-jumbo. Enjoy its simple and intuitive user interface that's accessible even to their youngest audiences. Paint the world with brushes and drag and drop walls and caverns into the canvas of your imaginations. Other than world making, it even allows you to create scenes and events, bridge other worlds together with portals, and fill the world with its wide array of items and objects. And with SD card support, there's a million more things you can do, letting you make up to 16 different RPG worlds. While it's definitely not as expansive as its PC counterpart, this 3DS edition brings it down to a more pocket-friendly device, without compromising quality in the process. Sure, it's not a game per se, but building a whole universe from scratch is about as much fun as any game in this list. It has a play score of 7.46. Number 8 is Mario Sports Superstars. The Olympic spirit is positively alive on the 3DS, and who else to lead the way than Nintendo's iconic plumber Mario? Combining golf, soccer, baseball, tennis, and horse racing into one gigantic athletic celebration. Perfect for both competitive players and party game enthusiasts. And with that number of games, you might think it's just a bunch of minigames strung together. But that is where you're wrong. While it's as expansive as their individual game counterparts, Superstar still has an impressive for each of them, with full-blown tournaments and a lot of replay value. While not all games are equal in terms of fleshed out experience, there's still a lot to unlock in each of them. Play against friends in golf's 4 different courses, roam around and take care of your horses, compete for best rallies in tennis, and have some Mario baseball-like fun. But rising above the rest, the highlight for most players seems to be the exciting soccer games. Play with and against a whole team of 11 players, and indulge in satisfying passes and the adrenaline-pumping highs of intense rivalries. In spite of its place on this list, the game received quite a number of negative reviews from critics, citing their lightweight games that they feel aren't worth the overall price. It also doesn't make too much use of their iconic characters like Mario, Princess Peach, Donkey Kong, and Bowser, whom you can actually play. Yeah, we checked. And while it's missing some of the Mario magic of other Nintendo first-party titles, it's still a pretty awesome game. It has a play score of 7.61. Number 7 is Blaster Master Zero, a platformer/shooter made exclusively for the portable Nintendo consoles. This game aims to revive Sunsoft's classic Blaster Master game released on the NES in 1998. From the makers of Mega Man Zero and Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, Inti Creates pays tribute to the well-loved game, retaining many of its important elements and providing a much-needed revamp to its weaker aspects. Using today's advanced technology, the game runs buttery smooth on today's consoles, even with its graphically overhauled visuals. Rediscover the beauty of Blaster Master with rebalanced stages and fresh new areas and bosses. While the original storyline borders on ridiculous, this remake manages to salvage some of its key aspects of its exposition and taking a few liberties in the rest. Just like the original, follow protagonist Jason Frednick as he ventures deep underground with his newfound tank Sophia III in a quest to retrieve a frog named Fred. However, in addition to that, you also meet his new sidekick Eve, who plays a part of an engineer turned love interest. She plays her role well, allowing the two characters to have a richer character development together, through their witty dialogue and banter. One thing that sets Blaster Master Zero apart is its hybrid gameplay. Journey around the alien environments inside your tank to embark on a Metroidvania-like side-scroller exploration, or step out to barge into dungeons and fight against an extraterrestrial creatures in top-down shooting fashion. It's a remake done right and it receives a play score of 8.31. Number 6 is Bye Bye BOXBOY. BOXBOY was an instant classic when it first released on the 3DS last 2015, and spawned an equally loved sequel the next year. At each time, HAL Laboratory impressed its players, adding even more innovative features and gameplay to the adorable monochromatic puzzle platformer. With this latest release, they're capping off the series with an explosive finale that is sure to cement them as a memorable landmark in platforming history. This time, the world is yet under another catastrophic crisis. With QB being the last hope for survival, it's time to release the boxes once again, and open up for more mind-boggling puzzles. There's more dangers in store for our box-shaped main character as he faces off against smoke, wind, and water in a quest to save the cute little cube babies. Rescue them to receive powerful new skills that open you up to more interesting surprises. Destroy environments with Boombox, teleport with the Warp Box, and reach new heights with Box Rocket and Remote Box. Wow. There's 18 new worlds to discover, each more colorful than the last. It even brings in a slew of new unlockables. Swipe in some Kirby series amiibos to get some special costumes, or achieve the perfect score to get QC in a cool retro Game Boy scheme. While goodbyes are hard to say, especially with a series as loved as BOXBOY, their excellently crafted finale along with the rest of their games will be enough to satisfy us for years to come. It has a play score of 8.35. Number 5 is Story of Seasons Trio of Towns. Crafted by the same people that made Harvest Moon, Story of Season makes for an enjoyable alternative to Marvel's Entertainment's classic farming simulator. Moving to the newer generation, Story of Seasons delivers the charms of the genre in full 3D graphics. And with a Trio of Towns, there's 3 different cities to explore with a triple serving of the adorable country life fun. Dive into realms of farming, finance, and flings, made more enjoyable with a touch of cutesy visuals. Unlike the usual inheritance story that most farming sims begin with, this one takes a different, more complex tone as you set out to prove your father wrong and become the best farmer you can be. Created by Marvelous, it's still pretty much a Harvest Moon game. Plant crops, take care of animals, and find the love of your life. What sets it apart from other games is the addition of 3 new towns to visit and discover. Go to Lukuku Town to bask in the warmth of the tropical sun. Get a taste of the traditional Asian life in Chuyukusa, or check out the bovine sites of West Town, with each of them having a variety of exciting festivals and activities to partake in. This just might be the biggest Story of Seasons game yet. Visit each town, get to know the people, and immerse yourself in the wondrous new world. It has a play score of 8.45. Number 4 is Ever Oasis. For what seems to be the dying console, there's still a handful of new IPs heading to the 3DS, and they're definitely not something to thumb your nose at. One of them is a collaboration of established game icons Koichi Ishii from The Secret of Mana and Studio Grezza responsible for Ocarina and Majora's Mask. It's an assortment of the games we loved before, with elements of Animal Crossing, Monster Hunter, and Legend of Zelda combined. With that said, it also packs a lot of ingenuity. A hybrid of management and action RPG, the game takes you into the sandy dunes of their world and giving you the job of creating a lively oasis, and protecting the citizens from the threat of chaos. Venture around their orange environments in search of residents of your new town, and fight against the Chaos Fallen enemies by swapping around your party members with 3 characters in real-time fashion. Form alliances with other races and work beside them in the war against Chaos. Aside from protection, you'll also have to build stores, provide stocks, and collect your share of the profits. Eventually, you'll have a bustling oasis full of the lively creatures of the deserts, bask in their Egyptian art style, and adorable chibi characters that definitely fit in with the 3DS lineup of games. However, amidst the positive responses, Ever Oasis was also criticized for what others thought as a shallow gameplay for both their town building and action aspects. Despite everything though, it managed to receive a play score of 8.52. Third place is Poochy and Yoshi's Woolly World. Before Yoshi's big paper-crafted debut on the Switch, let's take a moment to look back on Nintendo's nifty surprise for its 3DS player base. While Yoshi's Woolly World was initially released on the Wii U, this port makes for a few adorable additions. The most obvious of which is Yoshi's local canine companion, Poochy, who will gladly help you out when you're in a spot. In keeping the friendlier atmosphere, it also has a mellow mode for its kiddie audience and for those looking for a more casual experience. But at its core, it's essentially the same game, with much of the praise and critique as the Wii U original. Strung together by the creators of Epic Yarn, it boasts the same vibrant colors and lush yarn-strung worlds. Jump back into Yoshi's enjoyable platform adventures, gobbling up enemies, knocking them out with his wool balls, and collecting a bunch of beads along the way. Solve all the puzzles in each world and unlock a solo Poochy collection stage. Edit your own Yoshi palettes, or swipe in for some amiibos and give him a brand new skin. While Poochy alleviates most of the frustrations of the Wii U version, it just doesn't seem that he's used enough in this game. But all in all, it's still one of the most adorable games on the 3DS, and we can't get enough of it. It has a play score of 8.71. Second place is Dragon Quest VIII: Journey of the Cursed King. A beloved masterpiece from the PlayStation 2 back in 2005, Nintendo scores big on the franchise, ushering its transition from home consoles to the portable. And this isn't just any port of the original. While it removes the orchestrated soundtrack, it places in its stead an array of new features that gamers of the new generation can surely appreciate. The last of its series to feature the traditional single-player campaign, dive into its gripping storyline, and help Hero and his friends end the tyranny of the Dulmagus. This new version boasts an array of new additions like scenes, dungeons, monsters, and 2 new playable characters in Mori and the Bandit Queen Red. While they only appear later in your journey, their various skills and abilities transition pretty well into the original story. To integrate to the modern generations, they've also implemented easier saves, hotkeys, and sped up battles. And with that, despite being a decade-old game, it still retains a feeling of freshness and novelty. With this remake, Dragon Quest reminds everyone why they became important in the first place. Surrender yourself to nostalgia and fall in love once again with their quirky cast of characters and enjoyable family-friendly adventures. While we might have to settle for its MIDI soundtrack, at the very least we don't have to deal with random encounters anymore. It has a play score of 8.8. And the best 3DS game so far is Fire Emblem Echoes: Shadows of Valentia. Awakening and Fates help the Fire Emblem franchise pierce to the mainstream media with their friendlier combat and character creation system. But the series' most recent installment revives the iconic Fire Emblem Gaiden from 1992. Doing away with the weapons triangle we've been used for a few years, Shadows of Valentia returns with their stat-based, plot-driven system and all the tactical RPG fun. Rekindle the fire of Alm and Calica's story, sealing off the separate paths and reuniting as 2 opposing forces in a world ravaged by war. The push and pull of their intense relations is what brings us forward to the story, with Alm at the helm of the rebellion and Calica leading a lawful band of soldiers. While it misses the tinge of romance in their more modern iterations, Echoes takes a welcome turn into the dark and gritty territories of fantasy tales. Another drastic change is their return to a mix between simplistic and complex combat system that might put off some newcomers. It veers away from the marriage system of Awakening and Fates, with more honest RNGs, basing attacks and positions on each unit's statistics. To make up for it, the game introduces Mila's turn wheel that lets you reset some of your turns, as well as an option to turn off permadeath. While it doesn't introduce the beauty of the franchise as much as Awakening did, Shadows of Valentia is perfect for veterans looking for a more old-school experience. It has a play score of 8.82.